Yeah, gambling is great, no question about it.
It felt so good. I kept putting my money in, and before I knew it, I lost $40.
Gambling. The only investment strategy where you expect to lose, but keep going anyway, because maybe, just maybe, today will be different. And as Family Guy shows us, that thinking doesn't go very well. In the episodes The Sun Also Draws and Rose to Vegas, gambling becomes a perfect backdrop for a comedy about how people risk their sanity, and sometimes their actual families, all for a chance to feel that fleeting taste of victory.
Here you go, $1 million, bro. Dude, we got $1 million donut, look.
Oh my gosh.
$1 million donut!
A few moments later.
So, $1 million, and that is $64.17.
So we have to ask, is gambling addiction really just about the thrill of the game? Or is it a symptom of something deeper? Are we actually addicted to losing? Or desperate for something, anything, to make life feel like it's worth the bet? To get that answer, we'll have to look at Stewie and Brian on their trip to Vegas. At the start of the episode, the Griffins are visiting a parade where much is at stake.
Well, listen up, everybody, because it's time for our grand prize drawing for those tickets to see Celine Dion live in Las Vegas.
Brian ends up winning these tickets to see Celine Dion, a golden ticket to the glitzy desert oasis. Or so he thinks. To celebrate, he asks the most logical person to come with him on his trip. It's Stewie, a baby, which we're just gonna ignore for the sake of the video.
Hey, Stewie, I don't know if you have any interest in this, but I was wondering if you want to go to Vegas with me and see Celine Dion.
Stewie is ecstatic, and of course, loves to go with Brian to Vegas. But instead of flying there, Stewie has a better idea.
Last night I was thinking to myself, why fly when we can get there instantly?
How do you get there instantly, you might ask? Well, by using a teleporter.
Teleport to Vegas, huh? All right, let's do it.
Stewie then convinces Brian to dance to activate the teleporter's kinetic energy, but it doesn't work. The duo stays behind without getting teleported.
What the hell, Stewie? It didn't work. Oh, that's odd.
Or so they think. It actually duplicated them and placed a copy of Brian and Stewie in Las Vegas.
Oh my God, Stewie, it worked. We're in Vegas.
They go to their hotel, check in, and are ready to roll.
Hi, we're checking in, Griffin.
Ah, yes. I see you've requested a bed that's good for bouncing and jumping.
Which seems nice of them at first, but if a casino ever offers you a free room or complimentary food and drinks, you shouldn't accept it blindly. Casinos won't just offer anyone some extras. They'll usually give them if they think you're a loyal sucker who will continue to give them money in the future. If you're just passing through or not losing money, they won't give you anything. I have first-hand experience way too much of it. When I won, they treated me like a king. Complimentary drinks when I was playing, knowing that I'm likely to spend more money if I'm loosened up a bit. But why would they want someone that is already winning to win more? Well, they don't. They know that the longer you stay in the casino, the more likely they are to get their money back, and then some more. And they don't just stop there, as we see in Family Guy. After checking in, Brian gets right in on the action by calling out the casino's tactics.
Hey, we should try one of those slot machines by the entrance. You know, they always set those things to pay out more so they can lure people into the casino.
But is that actually true? Surprisingly, it could be. Casinos strategically place slot machines to maximize player engagement and revenue. Machines located near entrances or high traffic areas may have higher payout percentages to attract players and create a more enticing atmosphere. That's not just limited to the entrance of the casino. Floor managers are partly dedicated to this. They watch the players very carefully all the time. Their objective is to get all the machines played all the time, because a machine that isn't being played just eats up floor space and could be earning money and still gets taxed. So how do you get people to play more in a specific corner? Twist the payouts a little more in favor of the gamblers, and they will get attracted to that corner when they keep hearing jackpots falling there. This practice can enhance the overall experience and encourage more people to play. Same goes for pimps. They place their best looking ladies at the windows to increase the chance of people walking in. It's a classy business. But the casino's thoughtful and effective design doesn't just stop there, which we'll get onto later. For now, let's see how it plays out for Brian.
Oh my God, I don't believe it! Brian, we won! We won the jackpot!
Luck seems to be on their side today, as they hit the jackpot right away. And now that they've gotten their first win, they can't stop. They start playing craps, also winning big.
How nice a dame you can be.
After which they reward themselves with complimentary strippers and a Ferrari. What we can see here is the first stage of gambling addiction being portrayed by Family Guy. It's a stage we call the winning stage, where everything seems perfect and you're winning more often than you're losing. It's easy to get hooked at this stage because of the thrill of winning and believing you're in control. However, this stage is usually short-lived, which we see represented in the other Stewie and Brian. The other Brian and Stewie try checking into their hotel, only to find out someone has already checked into their room. Brian tries out the same slot machine at the entrance using the same logic, this time without luck.
Ah, damn it, Vegas!
After which Brian decides to give blackjack a shot.
I'm gonna try some blackjack.
Here, take $40.
But their tactic fails. For Stewie, it's going even worse.
Hey, Stewie, I need some more money.
I lost it all, Brian.
It's a great representation of the second stage of gambling addiction creeping in. It's called the losing stage. You start to lose lots of money, but since you know what it's like to win, or because you see others win, you continue to gamble, believing that the next win must be just around the corner. And losing money, that makes you feel pain. Now you have to make it back. And casinos know this. So what do these casinos do to try to get you addicted and spend the most money possible? It's all a game of psychology. There's usually at least 8 tricks involved. The first is the enticing design. Casinos are like mazes, created by mad scientists with a PhD in take all your money. 2 men, Bill Friedman and Roger Thomas, made sure of it. Friedman was a former gambling addict who figured out that the best way to keep people playing was to make casinos feel like your living room. Cozy, no windows, and a convenient shortage of exits. His layouts are tight, intimate, and packed with machines. So the only way to the bathroom is past a flashing light screaming, "One more try!" Then take Thomas, who said, "Nah, let's make casinos feel like luxury spas." His playground design approach gives us high ceilings and fancy decor to keep you relaxed and coming back. It's like the world's most elegant mousetrap. And trust me, no one ever told them they just came to check the architecture. Next up, there's a lack of time. Why can you never find a clock in a casino? It's because they don't want you thinking about time. You lose track of hours or even days, and before you know it, you're a vampire with a gambling problem. People with addictions come here to escape, losing themselves in the games without a single clue if it's 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. It's the same principle as binge watching Netflix, except you're hemorrhaging cash instead of brain cells. For their third trick, they play around with the lights, sounds, and all the feels. That ding 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 noise when someone wins is designed to hypnotize you. One study found that the sounds and lights in slot machines push people to take bigger risks. The more it sounds like a party, the more you're going to forget how much you're losing. It's like Pavlov's dog, but for gamblers. And the bell always rings. What about the scent of winning? Yes, even the smell is a trick. Casinos fill the air with custom scents that make you feel comfortable and hungry for more. It's like that warm cinnamon smell in the mall. But instead of pastries, you're being lured to pour your money into a slot machine. Studies found that people spend 45% more when surrounded by these scents, so make sure you catch a cold before going to one. And don't get me started on slot machines. They're designed to make you addicted. They love to show you a near miss, just one symbol away from the jackpot. Your brain gets that hit of excitement, and suddenly, you're convinced you're close. Spoiler, you're not, but they know it keeps you feeding the machine. Also, they usually accept cash but pay you back with a voucher. It's way easier to spend Monopoly money than real cash. You'll start seeing a number in the corner on your slot machine. The less you associate that number with how much you actually have to work to pay that, the better. We see Lois get addicted to the allure of slot machines in Season 1, Episode 6, where she almost turns non-verbal because of them.
I didn't know you know how to play poker, Lois.
Yeah.
Well, how you doing?
Yeah.
That's good, honey. Let's go.
Yeah.
But there is one more trick the casinos have up their sleeves: the illusion of control. This one is obvious, but it's the reason I stay away from slot machines. I feel a lot more comfortable playing blackjack, where strategy actually plays a role, rather than having an algorithm decide if the casino has made enough money. The house always has an edge, but at least I feel like I have a role in blackjack. It even allows you to beat the odds, which I'll get into later. For now, realize that all these tricks make it so easy to get out of touch with reality in the casino, turning your night sour, just like for Brian and Stewie.
God, this trip has been a disaster.
I know. I actually thought I was gonna win big.
Like true addicts, Brian and Stewie have spent way more than they were originally planning on. They decide the best thing to do is to cut their losses and fly home. But they can't.
What? Why?
I may have gambled away our plane tickets.
Before you ask, no, you can't actually gamble plane tickets or anything in Vegas. They usually only accept American dollars. Though there are a lot of pawn shops, so if you're looking to gamble your watch, there's some indirect options for that. In Family Guy, you can bet more than just your plane tickets though. You can also gamble your daughter's virginity.
How's it going here?
Not great.
I know what you mean. We just took a pounding at the craps table.
Anyway, back to Stewie and Brian. We've gone to the final stage of gambling addiction. It's called the chasing/desperation phase. This is when you've lost so much money that you'll do anything to win it back, which could involve lying to friends and family members, borrowing or stealing money in order to gamble, and chasing your losses. Little do you know, Stewie and Brian will be ticking all the boxes. Brian already did it before getting to Vegas, as he stole from Lois.
You know that $500 we lost? I sorta took that from Lois, without asking. She finds out it's all gone, she'll kill me.
Luckily for them, help is just around the corner, as a good Samaritan approaches them.
Did you fellas say you were in a bit of a fix? My buddy's got the inside track on a basketball game. It's a sure thing.
This might seem enticing, but if RuneScape ever taught me something, is that people offering to double your money will not double your money. They will block you and log off. However, if you're desperate to get some better gear, you'll be a fool like me and try it out. It's the same desperation Brian and Stewie are feeling after gambling away their plane tickets. They don't have a way home unless they make some money, and the only way to do that in Vegas is by gambling. Stewie and Brian take up the offer to get the inside information on the basketball game. In return, they attend a condo viewing, pretending to be interested buyers to make viewers think they have to outbid them for the place.
The price per square foot is quite competitive with similar homes in the area.
Yes, I also love it. I will likely purchase it unless others put in a rival bid.
Now the duo has inside information and are guaranteed to make their money back and return home safely. Brian still has his doubts, but Stewie is in kind spirits.
Relax, Brian. We're betting on one basketball game, that's it. And then we'll be out of debt and on our way home.
There is just one major problem. They don't have any money left to bet on the game and are still chasing their losses. So what do addicts do when they're in this situation? They borrow some more money.
I suppose. Just wish we didn't have to borrow money from a loan shark.
Now, modern day gambling has a solution to these unethical loan sharks. All Vegas casinos devote themselves to ethical gambling, which is why they give the option to gamble on the casino's credit. In other words, you could take a loan from the casino so you can make even more money gambling, right? Let's see how it plays out for Stewie and Brian. The basketball game is subsequently played and the results come in as expected. Now, like responsible gamblers, they discuss the potential ways to pay back the loan shark. But for them, it's actually their one-way ticket back home. When leaving the booth where they were watching the basketball game, they unknowingly swap backpacks with the other Stewie and Brian, who are winning back in Vegas. So now they have all the money to pay back the debt to their loan shark. And while everything is happening, the loan shark is still tailing them. Now, loan sharks don't like it when you go around flaunting their cash without paying them back. He pays Brian and Stewie a visit in their hotel room, has a slight argument with them about the money, to which Stewie and Brian cave in and hand over the cash they never borrowed from them. But they can't. They pay the price with Stewie getting unalived, which was quite usual in Vegas back in the days, but word usually didn't get around. It had to be kept low profile, for reasons. The other Brian and Stewie, who do have the cash to pay off the loan shark, see only one way out, which I can't get into due to guidelines and policies. But in summary, from the other duo, Brian ends up dying, which closes the teleporter loop, with just one Brian and one Stewie remaining. The two of them are then reunited at the bus stop and make their way back home in a happy ever after way. But that isn't the case for most gambling addicts. We've gone over the tricks casinos use to get you addicted, as well as the stages of gambling addiction. But two questions remain. Why do we get addicted to gambling, and how do we beat the casino at their own game? Let's start by why we get addicted to gambling. It's not just the bright lights, free drinks, and general promise of fame and fortune, though those definitely help. Gambling taps into some deep psychological triggers: the thrill of risk, the allure of a quick win, and the ever-sneaky near-miss phenomenon that tricks us into thinking we're this close to hitting the jackpot. When you win, even a little, your brain gives you a nice shot of dopamine, rewarding you for your hard work, or in this case, your random chance. You feel great, but then you want to feel that again and again, and suddenly it's 3 a.m. You've mortgaged your kids' college tuition, and you're wondering if Lady Luck will ever pay off your debt. Our brains are always searching for the next dopamine kick, hence you get addicted. So how do you make sure you always get a dopamine kick and never lose? Well, you beat the odds. Can you even do that? Well, statistically speaking, the casino always has the upper hand. They have entire teams of math whizzes fine-tuning the odds on every game so that over time, you're bound to lose more than you win. It used to be possible back in the days with sophisticated tactics like card counting. In short, this is where you play blackjack, keeping track of cards that were remaining in the game to potentially give you an edge. But those days are over now that casinos have systems in place against it, like adding more decks of cards to a game of blackjack, or shuffling cards more frequently. If the casino does feel like you're having an unfair advantage at a game, they'll just ban you from playing or kick you out, no questions asked. To really play the odds, it's all about limiting your exposure. Let's say you're willing to gamble $50. Place one single bet and walk away. No doubling down, no, just one more try. The longer you play, the more you feed into the house's edge, and the house never skips a meal. So if you're determined to give the casino a run for its money, make your move and retreat before it can get you hooked. Ideally, this bet is placed in a game that is chosen wisely. Not all games are created equal. Take craps for instance. Strangely enough, it's one of the best games for players in terms of odds, if you can keep track of all those dice rolls and betting options. Your odds here? About 49 to 51 on some of the main bets. And if dice aren't your thing, there's blackjack, where you actually have a bit of control, especially if you learn a thing or two about card counting and strategies. Even with systems in place against it, it can still give you an edge. Just avoid making a show of it.